back to SNK TV News. I'm Vanessa Cordero.
And I'm Nahal Patel. And today's segment is about the real story about disability discrimination.
It sure is, Nahal. Disability discrimination occurs when an individual is treated poorly or unfavorably because they have a condition in which affects their movements or activities. As stated in the article by Thought Economics, the author conveys, broadly across society, there is a discrimination around the perception that having an unusual mind or body is a weakness, or that you're weaker and crippled.
The Americans with Disability Act, also known as ADA, outlaws discrimination against people with specific disabilities and assures protection and equal opportunities for individuals with disabilities.
Now we head to Thea Johnson, interviewing occupational therapist Maria Gonzalez. Thea?
Thanks, Vanessa and Nahal. I'm here with occupational therapist Maria Gonzalez discussing disability. As an occupational therapist, how important is it to treat patients with respect and equality?
It's very important to me as a therapist to treat my patients with respect and equality because that's the only way I'm actually going to get them to adapt and cope.
What are some ways to help people with disabilities feel equal and not judged?
I think it helps to make jobs more available, to make places accessible, and just for them to be treated just like anybody else.
What are some ways to help change opinions about disability?
Not change things too much and not to treat them differently and to just try as much as possible to include them in everything and everyday activities.
Do you feel that the Americans with Disabilities Act protects disabled individuals from discrimination?
Yes, because when it was established, it did kind of force employers to make jobs available. It made buildings more accessible, housing, businesses, things like that.
Thank you, Thea and Ms. Gonzalez. Now for a quick commercial break.
Hello, my name is Scarlett Araujo and I'm the owner of Cheap Medical Devices. All of our money made here goes to the people that have permanent disabilities. All of our devices from thrift stores and flea markets, and we resell them for much cheaper. But don't worry, we make sure that these products are in good shape. Take a look at this walker from Walmart. Yes, very expensive. Why not be like Susan and smile because she got that walker for half the price? Here at Cheap Medical Devices.
Hi, welcome back. Furthermore, approximately 1 billion people, or 15% of the world's population, have or have had some sort of disability.
The percentage of disabilities continues to rise and creates more medical jobs and laws against workplace discrimination. According to the article, America Still Leaves the Disabled Behind, CNN states in the early 1990s, about half of disabled Americans were employed, according to census data. Today, that has fallen to just 41%. Some of the decline is due to an aging population. Older workers are more likely to have disabilities, especially physical ones.
Every month, over 14 million people receive a disability check from the government. The vast majority of people with disabilities do not receive work.
Now we go to Kayla Peraz interviewing her father, Frank Peraz, discussing his experience and perspective of having a disability.
Hi, I'm Kayla Peraz and I'm here with Frank Peraz. How has having a disability affected your life?
Well, my disability came on late in life. I worked for a company for 39 years and I was doing fine, and then when I retired, things started to affect me. I ended up having neuropathy in my feet and my legs, which is a nerve damage, and it affects my life because I have to, people see me as a big person and a healthy person, but when I'm taking a shower or dressing, that's where my disability comes in. I have to sit to dress or hold on to something all the time. When I'm walking, I lose my balance. Not from dizziness, just from nerve damage. My feet tend to fall asleep or tingle or burn, and sometimes I can't catch my balance. It has affected my life because it slowed me down as far as being physical. I used to play a lot of golf, and I don't play golf anymore. So it's been a hindrance.
Thank you. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Kayla and Mr. Peraz.
Many people do not know what it is like to experience a disability or live a whole life with one. The disadvantages that come with one's disability have a possibility of being defective.
In Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, she states you never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. Lee 39. This quote illustrates the idea of how one does not long for the ability to do basic actions until you lose the ability to be able to do them.
In addition, there are various individuals who take their abilities for granted and do not realize how lucky they are until they are gone. Harper Lee showcases this when she states, "Until I fear I would lose it, I never loved to read. One does not love reading." Lee 23.
This quote indicated that you never appreciate something until it is gone.
Yes, Nahal, I would have to strongly agree with you. This concludes today's segment. Tune in tomorrow when we discuss more social justice issues. Thank you.